Hi guys! Today I don't have a traditional yoga practice for you. I'm just going to bring you through my stretching routine that I do every day. It's good for hamstrings, lower back, hips, upper back, because those are my problem areas. If you lift a lot, these are probably problem areas for you too. So it'll be good to follow along. Let's get started. So we're going to start with a traditional hamstring stretch, single leg. So we'll bring one leg out long, shift your body towards that leg, raise your hands up, and lean forward. I'm not going to hold each pose as long as I normally would. I'm going to hold for maybe 20 seconds, but I recommend holding for 30 seconds to a minute each exercise. And switch legs. If you are super tight in one of these legs and you can't reach your toes, that's okay. Reach towards your toes, or if you want, you can grab a strap and grab hold of your foot that way. The next one that is a staple of mine is butterfly. If you do this every day, you will feel much better. So keep your back nice and straight. When you're ready, breathe in. And as you breathe out, lean forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Go deeper in. And one more time. From here, we're going to go into pigeon pose. So we'll shift onto all fours for a second. Bring your right foot up and drop those hips down. Make sure you're not leaning on one hip or the other, but nice in the middle. And keep your back nice and straight. Heart space open. When you're ready, we're going to switch legs. Keep that heart space open and don't lean on one hip or the other. Next, we're going to go into a low lunge. This is really good for hip mobility. Back to your tabletop position. And we're going to take the left leg forward, drop that back knee, and raise up. Try not to sink into this move, but keep your pelvis lifted, your spine lifted. want to keep your hands on the ground to make it feel deeper, go ahead. And if you want to really work on your hip mobility, you can grab onto that foot, push that knee outward, and lean a little bit to your left. See how that feels? Back to center, and then lean the other way. See how that feels. If you have it in your practice to drop down into lizard pose, go ahead. And we're going to switch legs. So bring that foot back, and then bring the right one forward. Raise the arms, keep that pelvis lifted, keep the spinal cord open and lifted. Option to drop the arms down. Grab that foot, push the knee outward, and bend to the right. Maybe try the lift. And if you have it in your practice, you can drop down into a lizard. Ready, safely raise out of it the same way that you came in. We're going to shift our weight to that back leg, move into a tabletop position. We'll do a little cat-cow here just for funsies. Keep those feet planted into the ground, drop the belly, look up to the sky. Keep the shoulders away from the head. A nice long neck, and then we're going to curl under for cat. You should really be feeling it in your abdominal muscles here, tucking the pelvis forward. Breathe in and look up. Breathe out and curl. Awesome. We're going to take our right hand and thread the needle here to stretch out our upper back. I have to do this stretch just about every morning. It's really good if you have a tight upper back or hold a lot of tension in your traps. Return to center, and we'll go the other way. Drop that ear to the ground. Here we're going to raise up onto our knees. We're going to lift one leg, choose your right leg, lift it up, do a nice little quad stretch here. Keep your spine and your body nice and straight and aligned. And switch legs. Nice. You can choose whichever seated position is most comfortable for you here. I'm comfortable on my knees, but if you have to go crisscross applesauce, that's cool too. We're gonna stretch out our traps a little bit because I know I hold a lot of my tension, my daily tension, in my traps and in my neck. So we're going to drop our right ear to our shoulder, sitting up nice and tall, elongating our spine. You should already feel a nice stretch in your trap, but if you want to intensify it at all, raise that left arm out and then point the hand up towards the ceiling. Awesome. Drop that arm. Now we're going to take our left ear to our left shoulder. Keeping the spine nice and tall and straight. And if you want to intensify it, raise that right arm, pointing the right fingers up to the ceiling. Awesome. Now we're going to go on to our backs. This is another staple exercise for me. I have to do it every day, but I have very tight hips. If you have any troubles with your hips, I recommend doing this every day. So we're going to keep our hands right by our sides, knees bent. We're going to take our right foot, cross it over our left knee. If you're really tight, this will be it. It'll probably feel really good. And stay here, but if you want to intensify it, you can thread the needle and grab that left hamstring. Try to keep your left foot flexed as much as possible. And we'll switch legs, drop that foot to the ground, put the left foot over the right, thread the needle, and then keep that right foot flexed. Maybe notice which hip is tighter than the other. Turn that to the ground. And my last pose is one of my favorites. It's a feel-good pose, and it also opens up your hip spaces. So we're going to lift both our feet to the sky. Soles of our feet are facing the sky. You're going to grab either your foot, your toe, maybe just your shin, depending on where you're at. And you're going to push those knees out, away from your body, creating a nice stretch. If this feels really good, you can rock, massage your spine a little bit, whatever feels good. That's all I have for you today, guys. Those are just some staple stretches that I do every day that I recommend my clients do if they're feeling tight, if they're lacking in any mobility. Yeah, thank you for joining me.